Man, how's this for a stuff up? I get bangs on the side of the boat and these guys come and wake me while I was editing, and this freaking boat is broken free and it's drifting. The anchor snapped. Thank goodness the oaks are on the boat. They're trying to steer it because it was coming straight for us. Yeah, unattended boats. I started the motors and everything, and just I can freaking go back on the anchor, but I can't do much more than that. And they've got a whole minefield of boats to go through here. Somebody's on the boat, at least trying to start it or trying to get an anchor away. What a freaking mess, man. Shit. I mean, on your own I can't do really much, you know. Luckily the guys have jumped into gear here, because yeah, it's the kind of stuff that happens there. You think I was talking to John about our anchor swivel, which Peter said we should change immediately because
this boat was actually on a mooring and had broken free and come through the entire fleet anchored ahead of us. Yeah, we have an issue with our swivel, according to Peter, and this is something I'll show you later on. But anyway, this was an emergency early hours of the morning before the sun had even risen.
Well done, guys, thank you. Shit, even the local guys have come to jump into it. I haven't noticed this boat here before, so I don't know if it looks like it's been here for a while though. Crikey, that was close. Shit, man. It's just gonna skid past the back of us, hopefully. Just get on the wheel here just in case. Shit, I tell you what. That was freaking... they're trying to drop the anchor behind us here. Somebody was awake. Shit, thank goodness. Started the motors, got the anchor ready to throw some chain out so I could at least maneuver, but man, that was close. These guys have done a great job. Done a great job. Thank you. Crazy. Nobody can speak any Chinese languages, are just piled in. Man, oh man. And if they hadn't pushed the boat out of the way, she would have come straight into us. Super grateful for the guys. It could have been an absolute mess. Well, it's nice to see the local guys jumping in here as well. They're going to take an extra mooring rope over. Tied onto the commercial mooring as a double insurance. Super cool of all the guys to jump in, man. Shit, whoever's yacht this is, looks like it's been standing for a while, but they're super lucky. That would have gone straight to the bricks at the back there. Now this weather's been freaking shite for 4 days now. It's been pumping. It's been like 30 knots and miserable. The boat's an absolute mess. I actually washed the back down here, but if you have a look at the top there, it's just dust and I can't wait to get out of here. Super cool of the guys. Never a dull moment. Oh shit, anyway, I can switch this off now. disaster averted. And nice to see the motors are starting nicely with the new batteries I put in, so yeah, that was a quick test. The anchor's going back on again. Freaking wind is howling. Now it's just a safety. Oh man. That's why we call it Mindelo. The whole boat is just freaking one dust ball. Now the only problem now is I've got somebody right up my tailpipe here, which is not cool, so I may well have to move. Yeah, so if I start to drift, it's going to be seconds and I'm going to be into whatever's behind me here, this boat. So yeah, I think once this weather settles down, it's supposed to drop off a bit today. I'll try and put another anchor somewhere else because it's just not too kosher here. Yeah, the weather's been an absolute bitch for the last 4 days. So there were actually a heap of boats anchored in this back area here, cats, monos, but all of the guys moved up into the top corner here to get out of the swell, because there's been, if you're not where this harbour wall is here, you know, it cuts off the swell, but if you're just behind it, you get this rolling action. So a lot of the boats, you can see how crowded it is up front here. All the boats moved up further up north here, and yeah, it's very crowded up there. We're lucky that boat managed to come through there without freaking taking other boats out. I don't see any scratch marks on it and that, but some of the crew from the moorings, the walk-on moorings and that, the actual marina, sorting out ropes and trying to get this boat started. I think the batteries are flat. I see they've got a power starter on the front with a little boat now, so I'm going to try and get the motor started to get this boat back to where it came from. People just tie these things up, they think they're in a parking lot. It's a little bit different. The boys have got the anchor up. There's screaming and shouting going on. Freaking anchor's hardly coming up on that winch. Slowly. Yeah, the wind's still humping. Man, it's like the 5th day now. Just freaking ridiculous. Look at the haze. It's just, that's all dust. Yeah, and here's exactly why we call this place Mindelo. You can barely see the mountains and stuff around us. Hazy dust, plus a little bit of raindrops mixed in. I've got the commercial boats come back to their mooring next to me, so they're really tight. But I've been here with them here through all this weather, and it's been okay. So we swing past the front of them. It's not cool when you're this tight, but yeah, just a little point of interest. You can see this super yacht here. It was actually moored. It's actually moored on the outside over there. And you know it's rock and rolly out there and miserable when they move and come right onto the inside like this. We'll have a look at what it looks like up here. This is why the sails look the way they do. Freaking absolute mess. Cannot wait to get out of here. Just incessant wind, day after day after day. Well, it's been 10 days since I got here. Welcome to another day in the Cape Verdes. Another day of 30 knots of wind. It's been friggin' miserable here. Seriously hoping that they're gonna sort out my visa today. The first gap I get, I want to get out of here. It's been absolutely miserable. Boat's filthy. I've washed it down with salt water. It's not what you want to do, but I've got no choice here, because it's a wash down every 2 days just to try and keep it livable. Yeah, the joys. It's not always paradise in paradise. And this place is far from paradise in winter, that's for sure. This sort of side-on roll from the swell that's coming across here. I'd hate to be on a monohull. You can see the way those boats are rolling. It can't be too pleasant on those boats at night. The cat, at least, they're reasonably stable. A lot of the boats left today. You see it's thinning out up front here, and there's quite a few moorings open now. I saw a lot of guys checking out this morning. I've actually checked out as well. Finally got my visa after they forgot about it and put it on under a pile of freaking papers. When I got there 2 days ago, it was just lying there, and they were like apologetic. But they're supposed to phone me this morning and tell me that they got it, but they didn't. Went at 12 and finally I got my visa, so I'm good to go here until the 28th of February. And if I'm still here in February, I'm going to be losing my marbles, praying that I can get Kerry here. I don't know if I can handle this wind and this nonsense, you know. It's very different if you've got nice pleasant conditions and you can go and do stuff, but man, this wind here is just something else. Yeah, this space is starting to become way too small for me. I've edited 4 videos now, busy with a 5th one. Unfortunately, not the most exciting material. Obviously, with Peter, meeting Peter was amazing. Not something that everybody would enjoy, but interesting. I've got a few things that I've learned from him which are super important about the anchor swivels which we've got installed, and none of these guys who sail the heavier latitudes have got swivels in their chains because they're just so dangerous. They're prone to breaking, and he said take it off immediately. So when I get this anchor up, I've got to have a good look at it, or at least I've got to change and put a shackle between the swivel and the anchor to allow it to pivot and bend, you know, to kink on the shackle, rather than the chain trying to bend the swivel where it's attached to the anchor, and it actually opens the jaws up. I've actually got a photograph of what happens when that happens, and it's exactly the same swivel that we've got attached. So yeah, there are lessons to be learned from these guys, and that's why I tend to go and sit and listen, chat with them, you know, do stuff with them, because you'll always come away with a drop of wisdom, that's for sure. This is the weekly data trip. To buy data really early. It's Saturday morning, hoping to leave for San Nicola today. Got the visa, done cleanups, sorted out the poop pipes and the John's toilet, sorted out some valves and odds and ends, and yeah, I'm seriously ready to go. I've been doing Saturday morning, leaving Mindelo. I'm just jib sailing. The sea was absolutely upside down out here yesterday. It's still not looking very pretty, but yeah, I don't think I can stay another day in this bloody harbour. Enough's enough. It's just been miserable, dusty. I've just washed the boat down with salt water. Being an absolute mare in this freaking harbour. Over it. I want to get around the corner. Hopefully the passage back to San Nicola isn't too bad. And yeah, get some shelter, man. I'm just so tired of lying in the wind and rolling at night and not sleeping properly. And being freaking miserable. Get around the corner here and then head down the lee side of the islands back to San Nicola. I got 21 odd in the channel here. It'll obviously blow a bit harder at Sao Pedro, but yeah, hopefully a little bit of shelter on the way across. I'm sure the channel going across to San Nicola is going to be freaking miserable, but anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now some size waves coming through here. It's not going to be pleasant in the channel, that's for sure. If you like the Wild West, this isn't the channel. I don't know what it's going to look like around the corner. Around the corner will be fine, but in that channel across to San Nicola is going to be another story. Bloody wind. boat out there. Shit, I thought it was capsized. It's actually... Fuck. I've just seen a boat here that's sunken, or it's half sunk. I don't know if there's anybody with it. But I've spun around, dropped the sail. I just want to come and have a look here. I don't know what's going on here. These guys don't have radios and stuff, man. Could be a guy in trouble here. Quite a big boat as well. Mindelo port control. Mindelo port control. Sailing vessel Runaway. Sailing vessel Runaway. I have an emergency. Can you come in on 16, please? Mindelo port control, sailing vessel Runaway, come in please. Full dock marina, Mindelo, sailing vessel Runaway. Anybody copy her? Anybody on channel 16 that copies? Anybody on channel 16 that copies sailing vessel Runaway? Seriously, never come across such a bunch of freaking morons in my life. I mean, these guys have got no command of English, no anything. They're sitting on channel 69 as an emergency channel. I mean, I've called everybody on channel 16, I had no reply. And now I get told to channel 69, I get there, the guy cannot communicate. I then get told to go to channel 72, there's no reply. I've never in my life come across such untrained, unprofessional, unprepared, useless freaking response. Unbelievable. You got no chance if you go down here. Now I'm sitting with gusts up to 25 knots lying side on here waiting for these idiots to come here. The guy's trying to phone me on the phone. There's no reception out here. He's got a radio, they can't talk on the radio. They're talking on the wrong channels. Fuck me, what a bunch of idiots. Holy shit. I would hate to get into trouble here. So I've given up trying to freaking wait for these guys. I'm going to try and get back into port. This weather is just freaking so foul. I've left the boat. Apparently they've picked up 3 of the survivors. There's one missing. I don't know if it's him that's tethered to that one rope or what it is, but man, I can't stay there any longer. These guys have got no communication, no nothing. Taken a photograph of the last cohorts. Yeah, I'm going to try and get back into port because they've held me up so long now. It's not worth me. It's not worth me even continuing the journey, you know. Try and get back into port, sleep overnight, and then leave tomorrow if it's possible, because man, it's not pretty out here anymore. It's freaking white, it's ugly. It's gonna, and this little point I've got to go around, that little point over there is a nightmare because the current pushes up around there and the waves break there, so it's not going to be fun going around there today. Should have just left everything and continued on my way. Moved up above the wreck here now, actually in the way of this bulk tanker, but here comes the rescue boat, and I see there's a Zodiac in the back there with we've got the boat under tow, so at least my efforts have resulted in the boat being recovered, for better or for worse, but at least it wasn't in vain. So yeah, I feel a bit better about the whole thing now. Yeah, it's not a nice feeling when you go out and see a boat in that condition. I mean, I knew there was a problem, and you could see by the condition of the boat that it had happened pretty recently. So I don't know how much you'll see on this, but that's the Zodiac over there with the boat.
Yeah, it's been a rough time the last few weeks, and obviously what goes out to the families of the fishermen. I'm just glad they've got the vessel back, and there's a means of a livelihood to be utilized.
It's starting to get scary now.
Yeah, next week the journey doesn't become any easier. I get some serious heavy weather sailing lessons. Join us next week as I head for San Nicolai. Subscribe, and I'll catch you then. Thanks for watching.